Welcome back to our coverage of the Origins Game Fair 2017. I'm Eric Summerer here with David from Traders Luck Games. And we're looking at a new edition of a game that you've been working on for a while.
It's been a while. It was originally released 30 years ago with Steve Jackson Games. I designed it then. And then when it went out of print after a while, the rights reverted to me.
Yep.
I've been looking for an opportunity to do something with it, and when Kickstarter comes along,
all right,
it was
this is
time
called
to do it.
Star Traders. Tell us about, you already got me interested with the theme.
The year is 3250.
Okay.
You're in the far future. The Galactic Emperor has declared that the galaxy is at peace. There is no more war. So the heroes are the Valiant Star Traders who travel from world to world, picking up and delivering materials in their trusty starship.
Okay.
And you are a Star Trader.
Me?
Yes, as it happens, the Star Czar, the ruler of the manager of all merchandise in the galaxy, has retired.
Okay.
That's the official word from the Emperor. That's what we're taking.
Sure.
The Emperor has declared that there will be a competition to determine a new Star Czar.
Gotcha.
And that's what we have here.
Okay. So how do we do that?
Everybody has their own ship. You move around in the ship. You move along jump lines. You have stations, and the stations help you get to make some of your jumps. For example, I have to roll a 6 on one die to get to Heinlein from Silverberg.
Now, these are all named after sci-fi authors?
These are all named after science fiction authors with their permission, except for the 3 19th century authors that are just
they're not around anymore.
They're not around anymore.
They're not going to complain.
So, but they're named after my favorite science fiction authors, the cargoes that they carry. For example, Silverberg carries dream speakers. The cargoes they carry relate to what they wrote.
Oh, wow.
Wells exports time machines. Verne exports a Nautilus submarine. So you move around.
Okay.
You jump. You need to make a 6 to jump from Silverberg to Heinlein. But if you're jumping back to your own station, it has a navigation beacon. You do not need to roll anything to make that jump.
Okay.
You get 5 actions in your turn. Most of it will be jumping, but you will be doing some pickups. For example, contract number 1 is going to have a pickup here, which is the up arrow. It will be delivered into Heinlein as we see here. So if I make my way up along Dick to Piper and pick up cargo number 1, then I'm carrying it here. We mark it this way rather than me taking this card because the game is interactive, and you can go along and get over here and pick up that cargo also as you place it on that station. So It is at heart a pickup and delivery game. It is, I think, better than that because it is very much interactive and the contracts are common. And there is other interaction, especially with the Traders Luck cards. You can help each other. You can, if I'm sitting over here and want to jump to your station, then I can either roll a 6 or I can turn you and say, may I have permission to use your beacon? And I'll pay you 2 Starbucks. Starbucks is the money.
Okay.
And you can say yes, or you can say no, or you can say, how about 4? And but there definitely is interaction, which most pickup and delivery don't have.
Yeah. And
there is a climax at the end of the game. It's not just collect so many Starbucks, so much prestige. Prestige is your awareness in the galaxy. But when you get enough, you petition the Emperor. If he grants your petition, you get one final Imperial mission. If you complete that before the end of before anyone else, you are the new Star Czar and you have won the game.
All right.
So each of the contract cards tells you where it's picked up, where it's delivered, what the payoff is, how much prestige you get for it. If there is a station owner there, then the station owner gets money for brokering the contract.
Yeah.
But every one of the contract cards has another half as well. So when you're playing it as a contract, you're using this half of the card.
Yep.
But the other half you use when you draw into your hand. It's bigger on the inside, gives you extra actions.
Okay.
Stargate gives you a jump anywhere in the galaxy. All your stationer belong to us means that you can jump to someone else's stations in a turn. So those are good things. It could be there's a calamity, lost in space, where you have to roll randomly for where you end up. There can be avoid a calamity. The security officer next to you is wearing a red shirt, so you avoid a calamity. Each one of the avoid calamities is different, but you will find each one familiar.
Okay.
So there's good things, there are calamities, there are ways to avoid the calamity. You're making your way around the world, around the galaxy, as the saying goes, picking up and delivering, and you're having fun. It's a fun game.
How do more contracts come out on the board?
You play, well, we have a 2-player game set up with 3 contracts, but generally it's 1 contract per player. So on a 2-player game, you go ahead and run the 3rd contract, but in a 6-player game, you run all 6 contracts. 5-player game, 5 contracts, and so forth. So these are sitting on the sideline right now.
But then when one is claimed, then a new one comes out, we reposition them. I like these pickup and drop-off markers.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That took a lot of thought. we wanted something that was visible, but it took a while to figure out what on earth to do. And so we've got that going. And the first contract is a VIP contract. It gives you bonus prestige for delivering it. That's the one that the Emperor and the rest of the Empire particularly has its eye on. So you get more prestige for delivering that.
Excellent. And the numbers that you have to roll on each of these are based on the colors?
They're based on the colors. So, for example, any green line you have to roll a 6. This is a 1d6 roll. A blue line you have to roll a 5 or a 6. You have to roll a 4 or better for the purples, and so forth.
So it's a threshold that you're trying to hit.
It's a threshold, yes.
And it's hard to see, I think, from the overhead camera, but there's a certain number of dots on each of them. So there's 6 dots on here.
In fact, we have worked very hard. It's a very colorful game. I love the colors. The dice are all different colors just because they're pretty that way, and you can form illogical conclusions about which one is rolling better for you. And, but for having all the color, we have tried very hard to make it colorblind accessible, which includes the dots, which includes, for example, you and I are red and green, but it's red and green have a very different
pattern.
They have a different icon, but a different pattern as well. And we've worked. I won't certify this as colorblind accessible because I don't know where you get that certification. But I've talked to colorblind players as we play tested it and worked very hard to make it as accessible as possible in that way.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, David, for showing this to us. If people are interested in Star Traders, where do they go to find out more and to pick up a copy?
So can I give a URL?
Go for it.
It's tradersluck.com, TRADERSLUCK, and we will give you one there, sell you one there, and and you can pick it up here for the very first time at Origins, and we'll be trying to get into retail. That's our next step.
Okay, so available here now at the fair, on the website, and hopefully at your local gaming store
Absolutely.
soon. Thank you very much, David.
I do appreciate it, and I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
No problem, and thank you for watching.
Yes, take care.